Imagine pulling into a parking spot, minding your own business, only to have a complete stranger march up and demand you move. And why? Because according to her, you don't deserve it. But here's the kicker. Her reasoning makes absolutely no sense. And when she doesn't get her way, she takes things to a whole new level of crazy. This is the story of how one entitled Karen tried to bend reality to fit her rules and paid the price for it. It all started when John pulled into a parking spot meant for customers with kids. Simple, right? Not for Karen. Because in her world, children means 2 kids or more. And John, he only had 1. Buckle up. This one's wild. John didn't expect his usual grocery run to turn into a public showdown, but life had other plans. With his 18-month-old son settled in the cart, he was just about to head into the store when he heard it. "Excuse me." At first, he didn't think much of it. Assuming someone was reaching for a cart, he stepped aside. But the voice came again, sharper this time. "Excuse me." John turned to see a woman marching toward him. Arms folded, eyes locked on him like a predator eyeing its prey. "You're not allowed to park there," she stated, her voice laced with authority. John glanced at the sign nearby. "Reserved for customers with children." He gestured toward his son. "Yeah, that's me. I've got my kid with me." The woman's frown deepened. "It says children. That means more than one. You only have 1 kid, so you need to move." John blinked. Was she actually serious? With a patient smile, he replied, "I'm pretty sure the sign just means parents shopping with their kid." She shook her head aggressively. "Number? It's for people with multiple children. You're breaking the rules." John exhaled, already steering his cart toward the store. "Well, I'm not moving. Hope you have a great day." And then the screaming started. It wasn't just an annoyed complaint. It was a full-volume, glass-shattering shriek that echoed across the parking lot. John's toddler flinched at the sudden outburst, gripping the cart in alarm. The woman's voice rose another octave. "That spot is not for you and your 1 kid. It's for people like me, who have 2 kids." John sighed. There was no reasoning with her. He decided it wasn't worth the argument and turned toward the store. No way was he getting into a parking lot battle with an unhinged stranger while pushing a toddler in a shopping cart. But just as he reached the entrance, the blaring screech of a car horn shattered the air. Not just a quick beep, a full-on, rage-induced honk that didn't stop. The woman held her hand down on the horn, creating a long, ear-piercing noise that had heads turning from all directions. Then came the shouting. "Move your effing car, or I'll have the manager tow it." John didn't even glance back. He stepped inside right as the store manager was heading out, drawn by the commotion. The manager's eyebrows furrowed. "What's going on?" John kept his voice calm. "Some woman is furious that I parked in a spot for customers with kids." The manager looked at John, then at the very obvious child sitting in his cart, and finally out the glass doors where the woman had just finished double parking her SUV across 2 handicapped spaces. And then out stepped the so-called mother of the year. Her 2 kids, who looked to be at least 10 or 12 years old, followed behind as she stormed toward the entrance. The manager didn't hesitate. He rushed outside, waving his hands. "Ma'am, you can't double park in the handicap spots. You'll get a ticket." She shot back without a second thought. "I don't give a damn. If you're letting that idiot park in the kid's spot with only 1 kid, then I'll park wherever I want." John didn't stick around to watch. He had groceries to buy. He went about his shopping, relieved not to cross paths with the woman again. A small miracle. 45 minutes later, as he walked out with his bags, he spotted something that made his day. A police officer was parked right next to the woman's illegally parked SUV, writing up a ticket. John smirked. Karma worked fast today. In his state, the fine for parking in a handicapped spot without a permit was about $150 for the first violation and $250 for repeat offenses. And she had taken up 2 spaces. John could only hope the officer doubled the fine. After all, if she wanted 2 spots, she might as well pay for both. As John loaded his groceries, he glanced at the scene one last time. The officer was still there, scribbling away on his ticket pad, while the woman flailed her arms in protest. That's when a thought crossed his mind, one that would have been the ultimate comeback. If she wanted to nitpick grammar, then by her own logic, both children and customers were plural, which meant she needed to be two people to use the spot. John chuckled to himself. That would have broken her brain.
Maybe it was for the best he didn't say it. Who knows what kind of meltdown she would have had? He drove off, feeling lighter than he had all morning. Some people just thrive on chaos. And others? They let karma do the talking. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, it won't bite, I promise. Subscribing is free, but missing out? That's costly.